What's up, guys? It's Brent here. I wanted to make a video while I had a little bit of time addressing a topic that was asked of me. And that topic well, it's kind of a two-part question. He wants to know what my top 10 biggest fears are. And then he goes on to say that he's having a hard time hanging out with bio-male coworkers because of his fear of them finding out. Do I have any advice on getting over this fear and how to play it cool and not out myself? So that's what he wants to know. So in terms of my top 10 fears, I don't really have a lot of fears. There's not a lot that scares me. I guess I don't really think too much about things. I try to make smart, responsible decisions, but I kind of just live. I do have a phobia of puke, which I'm trying to get over because as a personal trainer, I'm probably going to have to deal with it. But like some people are claustrophobic, like full-blown panic attacks. It's gotten a lot better as I've aged, but it's been with me my whole entire life. So pretty crazy. But yeah, and still to this day, I have no idea why that I have a phobia of that. There's no logical. It can't hurt me. It's not, there's no logical sense to it. But I guess there aren't two phobias, unless claustrophobia or fear of heights. That's pretty logical. I don't want to like fall to my death like that. That would suck. But anyway, you want to talk about you wanted advice on how to get over the fear and play cool with your coworkers not finding out. So I don't know what stages you're along or whatever, what your situation is in terms of surgeries or T or how well you pass. But I'll talk about my circumstances. I've had 2 jobs since T. I was in school for most of it, so I was already like 3 years on T. I already had top surgery, histo, all that when I started working. My boss, I had mentioned in the interview that I was on YouTube for my fitness, and at the time I had a video titled "Who is Brent Freeland?" So my boss, who's already kind of into computers at the time, I guess did a little research and found me on YouTube. So she knew about my situation. As far as I know, no one else knew. I don't think that she would tell anybody, and it was never brought up. As you know, I play stealth baseball, and in my personal experience at work, no one knows now either. So I guess my advice would be to just go with the flow. If you're nervous about something, if you're fearful of something, you're gonna act abnormally. So that would bring up question, and I think it should be all right. For me, if somebody were to find out about me, what would be the worst? You lose your job. Okay, well, do you want to work for a place like that anyway? Or they judge you, but there's so many people I feel like that, I don't know. It's just, it is what it is, and people are going to be how they're going to be. So I kind of I can't live my life in fear. I try not to think too much about things, and I'm just relaxed and I'm cool. Sometimes I have to catch myself. I'll have to really think before I speak because, a situation will come up, in my past or whatever. Obviously, I was socialized as female, so if I'm getting to know someone or something, there might be, I can't think of a good example right now, but just something that might out me, so I might have to tweak that a little bit. In natural conversation, you would be like, oh, I played baseball instead of softball, or I was in Boy Scouts instead of Girl Scouts, but, I worry, not I worry, I do think, I did worry rather, let me put it that way, in the beginning of transition especially, that I would come off as inappropriate, that I would come off as weird because I wasn't socialized as male, and and this is a video in and of itself I think that I'm going to have to make one day, but I wasn't socialized as male, so it was like, okay, well, how do I behave appropriately in society as male? Because the reality is people see you differently now. People see me differently now. Conversations having with a stranger as a female and having conversations as a male, completely different. So, I try to just think. I try to prep myself by I'm observant of people in general, and I try to be observant of how men behave, just so I don't do stupid stuff. But really, I do my research, my research to a degree by just being observant. Even just watching like TV shows or whatever, and just going with the flow and just being myself. I haven't been questioned. Nothing's ever come up. My biggest worry is is how I'm gonna act if I ever get kicked in the nuts, because that's happened at baseball and I've had a cup on. But how do you act? How do you act in that situation? So, but you hopefully will not have to deal with that in the work environment. So I know I was all over the place with this. I apologize. I'm kind of tired. Hopefully, I gave you a little bit of help on that. Just to condense things and conclude here, my advice would just be to go with the flow. Just relax and do your job. And you know, if someone finds out, deal with it then. But I think most people are pretty receptive to it in a good way. People, I mean, people are gonna hate no matter what. That's just the world we live in. If they want to find something to dislike about you, they're going to. Period. That's just how it is. But I think for the most part, if you're a nice person and you treat others well for the most part, they're gonna see that, and your character is gonna be more important than anything else. And maybe it'll be a moment to educate and you know help people. That's how I see it. I enjoy being stealth. It's not comfortable for me to be out, but at the same time, if an opportunity comes up, I'm gonna educate, because I gotta pave the road for the guys behind me, for the ladies behind me, for people coming up. We gotta break down this ignorance here and show people it's nothing to be feared. And we deserve the same rights as everyone else. And of course, it's going to be a battle. It's been a battle since the history of mankind. Who should have equal rights? It's always a minority there, I feel like, but it's important to educate. And I think education definitely knocks out fear. So that's kind of my outlook on things. Hopefully, this was received well by you. Hopefully it wasn't too all over the place. Like I said, I'm a bit tired and I don't really plan out my videos. I kind of just read the question and let it flow. So hope everyone's having a good New Year, and I've got some things going on. Gonna try to make some future videos. Like I said, talk about I think I'll make a video talking about what it's like being socialized as female, transitioning at 27, and kind of adapting to this world, because people definitely interact with me differently, and it's definitely an emotional roller coaster. Another thing, for me, these hormones have made me feel really young, and it's really, you're going through puberty, and it's like, okay, you're going through puberty at your mid-20s or your late 20s even, and I was going through puberty in my late 20s, so feeling like a little boy and wanting to have these little boy experiences, I guess, that I didn't really have. So definitely a video for another time. And if anyone else has any topics you want me to talk about, any questions even, I will answer questions. I'll make a video just answering questions, short questions, long questions, whatever. So leave that stuff down below. All right, see ya.